TV. I'm Rachel Ayers.
And I'm Rodney Smith.
We're here at the John Penton GNCC, one of the longest running stops of the Grand National Cross Country Series. And Rodney, we've finally seen a repeat winner this season.
Yes, definitely Rachel. Knight's pulled off 2 wins here the last couple of races, but he's had to work for him. His bike's not getting the greatest starts off the line. He's came from dead last both races, and with the dust we're going to see here today, it's going to be hard for him to do that again, so hopefully he's got things worked out with that KTM.
Well, we can't count out Charlie Mullins, who got second last week. He came up from behind, made his way up, and actually got second, passing Garrett Edmondson on the last turn of the last lap, and it was pretty amazing. But we still have Garrett Edmondson sitting in second. We can't count him out.
Yeah, definitely. I think he put on a good ride last week. He showed that he's still consistent. He's going to be strong and in different type of conditions with Loretta's being hot. He held in there strong. But Mullins, on the other hand, it seems like he started out good this year. He's kind of fell off the pace a little bit, but he's back on fire again, and we're still looking for him to get that first win. Glenn Carney, same thing with Team Suzuki. I think we're looking for him to get up there on the podium and stuff again. He's had a few troubles here lately, but I think he's finally back up to shape. And then Paul Whibley's been fighting an injury here lately, and I think he's finally getting healthy. So it's going to be a good race.
Like we've said all year, anything could happen. Let's go down to the start.
All right, thanks a lot, Rachel and Rodney. Jason Wygant going to give you the call here for this Wiseco John Penton GNCC. As Barry Hawk, don't count him out. He won this race last year. Mullins waiting for his first ever GNCC win. Garrett Edmondson wanting some revenge after getting passed there down the stretch at Loretta Lynn's. Lots of contenders here. The Suzuki boys, Carney and Jarrett, have been strong all season long, and everyone wants to stem the tide of momentum of Knight. And Jason Gilliland and the Power Sports Graphics team running some special retro John Penton KTM graphics to celebrate this, the John Penton GNCC, and we are underway. Looks like Mullins has got himself the RaceRex hole shot. Barry Hawk in there right behind him, a couple of Suzukis. I think that's Jarrett in the number 3 spot, and no sign of Knight. So another bad start for David Knight. There's a motocross track here, Sunday Creek Motocross Park, but it's going to be hard to pass because that track is dusty. Now into the woods, a little bit more moisture back here, not nearly as much dust, and the Yamaha guys already beginning to put some time on the competition. Jarrett coming by still in the number 3 spot. And here's his young Australian teammate, Josh Strang. We're still waiting and watching for the Nighter. And here he is at the back of this train. You've got Carney, you've got Jesse Robinson, and then David Knight and Paul Whibley. So the 4 strokes getting bad starts again. Meanwhile, Mullins out front.
It's very important to win. I have a lot of family here, a lot of fans. But basically I want to do it for myself. I've been working hard all year, and I really want to win. I don't know, I've been working really hard, and I just want it pretty bad now. Loretta Lynn's, it started off good. I made a wrong turn and kind of dropped back and kind of stayed at one pace the whole day, and a couple guys got tired, and I was able to pick them off, and it was really hot, and I felt really strong, and I just hope I can stay that strong this race and hopefully win.
Well, he wants to win, but Hawk's going to make it tough on him. He is especially strong down the stretch. Expect him to try to stick to his teammate's wheel all the way down to the last lap of this one. Meanwhile, Glenn Carney of the factory Suzuki team has been struggling this season after some good runs early. Let's talk to him.
It's nice and warm and it's dry, which is really good for me. But it's the same for everyone now. It's really dusty, so a good start and things could go well, but if you get caught back in the pack on a day like today, you're made to pay the price. You've got to ride safe. You can't throw it all away in one race because it is really easy to get hurt in the dust. You can't see the trees and the stumps, the rocks, roots, everything, so try and make passes when possible, and you do have to risk it a little bit, but try and keep a level head, and hopefully it probably will come down to stuff like pit strategy today, gassing at different times and trying to make enough time in the pits and things like that.
Well, not so dusty back here. This is what GNCC racing is all about. You got to deal with the high-speed dust, and you got to deal with the rough stuff, and it is very rough back here. Look at this. Logs, rocks, mud, and David Knight now into the top 5 and making up time at all these guys. Here is Carney, who's been put behind Knight. He's back in the number 6 spot. Whibley just trying to hang on. He has been dealing with some illnesses lately, and that has sapped him of the strength that he had early in the season. Then you got Robbie Jenks, very popular in this part of the country. And Edmondson just uses those big long legs to keep the balance on that Kawasaki KX450F. Back to the motocross track for our leader, Mullins, and it's hard to deal with the varying terrain. It's so dry and slippery here, and think about it, he just came out of a section that was all mud and rocks and logs. It's hard to set up a bike, especially the suspension, to handle those two very diverse types of terrain. And also it's hard mentally for the riders to get in a full attack and charge mode on a motocross track like you'd like to have when you're tiptoeing your way over rocks and logs, and then you get onto a motocross track with berms. It is hard to hang it out the same way you would if you were just racing the motocross track by itself. Mullins going to try, though. Oh, and he just tagged that post. So he's definitely trying to make up some time. Be careful. Look out. Spinning the tires. They water that off-camber hill. You put slick dirt, water, and an off-camber together, and it is hard to stay upright. And Hawk with a much better line through there, trying to keep his teammate in check as Mullins is checking out early in this. He's still got, that is Jarrett back there at the number 3 spot. And the Suzuki team, obviously happy with his speed, his starts, and his consistency. But if he can get some fitness underneath him, he could get a podium, and they'd be even happier with that. And you got Strang in 4th, and here is Knight in 5th. And you know Knight is the shark in the waters. You cannot count that guy out, no matter how far back he is. Then it's Carney. Then it's Jesse Robinson, the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Here is Paul Whibley. Mullins trying to march away as he heads to the motocross track again. Let's see if he can hold on. We've seen this guy get great starts and big leads early before, but you got to remember that he's got Hawk and Knight back there, and a lot more racing yet to come, so stay with us. GNCC Racing On Versus, brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and KTM.
Well, it's KTM Youth Day here at the John Penton GNCC. Auntie Callan here is joining me. You guys have strong support with amateur riders, bringing youth up to become great stars. It looks like you have a great start here on Youth Day.
Yes, it's great to see all these youths, and it's great to see so many KTMs, and it's growing all the time. And it's just happy to talk to the parents, talk to the riders, and especially to the kids. You know, they stop by here, ask a couple of questions, and they're very excited to talk to our mechanics, riders, and all of the KTM team. And we just want to bring the family feeling of it, and it seems to work good.
Tell me what's all involved in today's Youth Day.
Well, we put together programs so that all of the youth that enter the event, no matter what brand they ride, get a T-shirt that says KTM John Penton Youth Day. And also at the end of the event, after they finish, they get a medallion also. And we took all of our pro riders, and John Penton and myself, and we went down to the finish line and made sure they all got a medal. So it's we invite them up here to the KTM hospitality area, and it's just a fun day for all of us.
How did you get involved in youth racing?
Well, we have a couple of generations right here. I began some of the youth racing when I was young, and it wasn't as it is today with the youth motorcycles. But as KTM developed youth motorcycles, it got bigger and bigger, and GNCC today has quite a complement of riders out here of all brands. And KTM Youth Day is real special to our company and to us, because this is where the riders start. This is where the riders become the riders of the future. So.
You ride for KTM. What's the best part about riding a KTM motorcycle?
It's just a good bike, and I like riding.
Who works on your bike?
My dad.
Your dad. Does all your family come to the race?
Sometimes.
If you could do anything when you grow up, would it be to ride a KTM motorcycle?
Yeah.
I love my KTM. I've had them since I was on 50s. They're unbeatable. Today it worked awesome. I didn't see. I mean, we got Greg out here, but me and Cody both on KTM is really ripping it up.
And I'm so proud of this sport that I had a big part in taking place of this event. And I also want to, at this time, thank the Coombs for carrying on where they have today.
Well, there you have it. KTM Youth Day is a big success at the John Penton GNCC. Thanks for people like John Penton that makes youth racing what it is today.
Well, it's good, and here's one of the outstanding graduates of that youth program. You go back all the way in 2001, Charlie Mullins won the youth overall here at the John Penton GNCC on the Yamaha YZ85, and today he's leading everyone in the world in our XC1 Pro class. Here's the rest of the guys rolling through the pack. David Knight still one to watch. Then you've got Glenn Carney, still in the number 6 spot, and Jesse Robinson has been stuck behind Carney all day long. They are following each other, and Robinson, a rookie, it's easy to learn that way. Then you have Whibley, Jenks back at the number 9 spot, and 10th. Trying to figure out who that is. Oh, we got a row, and a rider hit a tree there. That's Mike Pugrab of the 870, and that's the problem. You try to push the pace. Watch what happens to Pugrab here. He just catches one very small tree, and that sends him into the big one. And what they say about trees in GNCC racing, they do not move. Pugrab, a motocrosser, getting some time into the woods, and he learned the first lesson of it. You got to watch out for those trees as he was trying to run in that number 10 position. All right, Mullins out front. Barry Hawk still trying to chase him down. Let's talk to Barry.
It's going to be really hot. It's going to be really dusty. You have to be, thinking of that here as you're going to the starting line.
Yeah, I mean, if you put too much emphasis on that stuff, then, I think maybe you're not focused on racing. I mean, yeah, it's just basically another race, try and go out and get a good start and be up front and put myself in position late in the race to get a win. And, this just last year, it was U-Haul was dominating, had a lot of wins, and I won here last year. U-Haul, I probably wasn't the fastest rider, but I was the smartest. U-Haul got stuck, and I got around him. And whatever it takes to get a win, I'll do what it takes to get a win. And
well, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to stick to his teammate. Look at David Knight. Bull that big KTM 450 through that mulch pit. That's basically become a whoop section. And Knight waiting for him to strike still. Meanwhile, in the Yamaha pits, they don't want to think about that. Mullins is trying to focus on going forward. And they got gas and goggles. Barry Hawk's in the pits right now, keeping in touch with his teammate. And no cause for alarm there in the Yamaha pits. They're running 1 and 2. They're happy. Jarrett blows past. Went to the FMF Suzuki pit, and he's in the number 3 spot, still in contention. What is going on? I gotta be surprised at this point that Knight hasn't moved a little bit closer to these two. You can't let them run up front all day long. Hawk still struggling over that log, a little bit smoother this time. Mullins back in the motocross track. It looks exactly like it did early in the race. He's got this section wired. And, it's got to look pretty far back to find Hawk. There is Hawk in the number 2 spot. So Mullins has definitely got it firing on all cylinders right now, but it takes us back just a couple of races ago in South Carolina where he had absolutely checked out on these guys early on, and then Knight came coming through the back of the pack. So we'll see if he can do it again today. Jimmy Jarrett still in 3rd, and no pressure there. Jimmy has no pressure. It makes it a lot easier on him. He rides very, very well when he's out by himself. Same thing with Mullins. So Hawk right now has got to do his best to try to get right back to his teammate and put the pressure on and see if he can make him make a mistake. Same thing for the riders trailing Jarrett. He's in 3rd. These guys are going to have to hustle to try to put some pressure on him because there's a podium position in the making if Jimmy can hold on. Let's see if the Yamaha guys can stay where they are. So check out our Can-Am leaderboard, the top 10. Stay with us here on Versus. GNCC Racing on Versus, brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and KTM.
Welcome to this week's Rocky Mountain ATV MC Pro Tip of the Week. My name is Aaron, and this week we're going to talk about suspension. I'm sure all motorcycle owners have had the experience of walking out to their garage to find a puddle of fork oil sitting on the garage floor. Of course, this is all due to a leaky fork seal, and Tusk Off-Road has the answer in the form of a high-quality fork seal. Now the problem comes, once you buy the fork seal, how do you put it in? And Tusk Off-Road has made it easy by giving you the necessary tools. For starters, they offer fork cap wrenches to fit most Showa and Kayaba forks. They also have a fork oil level tool, and then also a fork seal driver. Now that you've properly installed your fork seal, the next step is to make sure that seal lasts as long as possible. That's why Tusk Off-Road offers the fork seal guard. This seal guard is made of neoprene and is designed to keep the dirt and mud away from your fork seal. Another thing Tusk Off-Road offers is fork air bleeders. These handy tools allow you to bleed the air out of your forks with just a push of a button. For more information, go online at RockyMountainATVMC.com or call for a free catalog.
All right, Charlie Mullins is free of pressure here at the Wisco. John Penton, GNCC. Jason Wygant giving it the call. Barry Hawk in 2nd. Jimmy Jarrett still 3rd. And Josh Strang is 4th. And the big surprise then, David Knight is still in 5th. He has not moved up like he has in the last couple of rounds. There's Jesse Robinson 6th. He has finally gotten around Glenn Carney. And then you go back to Whibley. Back to our leader, Charlie Mullins. Hawk is 2nd. How about Jimmy Jarrett 3rd?
Jimmy, you always get the stars pretty much every week. You're always up there in the very top. today that's going to be to your advantage.
Right. Definitely want to get the start, get in the woods first, and try not to let anyone get by me and let them eat my dust for a while and try to get away.
You feel like conditioning-wise, you're ready to hang up there for the whole 3 hours?
Yeah, definitely. My condition's not a factor right now. It's just a couple little mistakes I've made and some health issues the last race. So hopefully this race I can put it all together and be good.
Looking good right now is Mullins. Look at him blast in those berms. And he's pulling away from Hawk. We've been talking about this for the last 2 years. When will Charlie win his first GNCC? He's been in this position before, but today he looks a whole lot stronger. We'll see if he can hang on, and maybe today is the day. Finally, it's well overdue. Jarrett still hanging on to third. You see a little bit more conservative. And Josh Strang putting in the best race of his young American GNCC career. He is in fourth. What's up with David Knight?
All right, David Knight, how do you not get overconfident? You won 2 in a row. You came from the back of the pack. You're still coming off an injury. How do you keep motivating yourself now?
Same as always, to win. I haven't, I'm not going to get overconfident, like I said before, Maybe after 10 wins in a row, I might start getting confident, but not after 2, It's early days yet, and just learn every track. Like next year might be the time I can get confident, but, I'm just keeping my eyes open and just seeing what's out there, because every race has been different, You go flying along one track, then at the end of it there's a marine or something, a river or whatever, and you don't know. So you just gotta take it easy and learn the way of it, and then last few laps you can give it a bit of throttle and go.
Well, he's not going right now. Trouble in the KTM pit. We've heard that there's some bike trouble. The bike is cutting out. I don't know if it's a fuel problem. They had some trouble with that early in the year. Maybe it's ignition. Something is not right with David Knight's bike. Same thing here in the Suzuki pits. Glenn Carney is struggling right now as well. He was with the leaders earlier, but he has dropped a couple of spots outside the top 5. Meanwhile, Charlie Mullins continues to roll. And the fans out here in Ohio love him. He's got a lot of friends and family, I'm sure, out in those woods right there. And they are pumped. And man, you see why he's got such a big lead right now. He is absolutely hauling through these difficult sections of the track. So there is Mullins. And we're going to flash back here to Hawk on the number 2. And he is running in the number 2 spot. Into the mulch pit. And Mullins leaps into it, keeping the feet on the pegs way over the back of the bike. Not blasting the berms like he was earlier in this one, but with the lead he has over Hawk, he doesn't need to take those kind of chances. You can clog up your air filter real easy on a dusty day like today. And Mullins cruising into the Yamaha pits again, going to take on more fuel, more goggles, get some more to drink. And his dad, Big Charlie, is telling him he's got a nice solid lead right now. So everything is all systems go for Mullins. And now what's going to happen? Will he start feeling the pressure on the last lap? Or is he starting to realize today is his day? It's time to start celebrating. We're going to find out. Knight's still on the move. Can he make up time? Will they get that bike running right? Stay tuned for the last lap. GNCC Racing On Versus, brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and KTM. And this is it, a coronation ceremony for this man, Charlie Mullins. Jason Wygant giving it the call here on Versus, and no one is going to stop Mullins today. And much like people expected, with a big lead over Hawk and Jarrett. Wait a minute, David Knight getting back in the hunt for a podium. But like people expected it would be for Mullins, his first win is going to make it seem like he's been here time and time again, because he has had no pressure, no mistakes. He's attacking this thing like he's a veteran. You wouldn't think that this was his first GNCC with the way he's riding today. You would have thought he'd have a whole bunch. But then again, he probably should have had a whole bunch at this point with his kind of talent. So Mullins is rolling, and it looks like Hawk's going to hold on to second place. We'll try to flash back to that battle for third as Mullins goes by again, headed toward the finish. Here is Hawk. I think he's giving up the ghost here, and he's going to accept second place points. Whoa, and he almost threw it away. Feet off the pegs. No worries such for Mullins, though. It's been a long time. It's way overdue. And Mullins, the hot rod, has got himself his first ever Grand National Cross Country win, and he does it in his home state of Ohio. And depending on what happens here as Hawk finishes second, depending on where Knight finishes, Mullins has an outside shot at ending up today the points leader. Let's talk to it.
It quite hasn't sank in yet. It feels really good so far. I got the whole shot and led the whole day, and it really hasn't sank in, but last lap.
Have any problems?
No, that's Had no problems, no wrecks, smooth, clean race, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Many more to come?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, actually, I think I actually went in the woods second, and it was pretty uneventful. I made one mistake and fell over today, and it just seemed like I was stuck in that 20 seconds behind Mullins. I'd get to pit board 20 seconds, 25, 30, 25, 20, and I could never make up that last 20 seconds on him, and I can't take away anything from him. I mean, he flat out beat me today, rode good, and my hat's off to him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, this place has always been good to me, and I got a decent start, and I just put my head down today. I didn't want anyone to pass me, and tried to stay with Barry and Charlie, but they were on it, and I kind of settled into third and stayed there until Niter caught me, and we kind of battled back and forth, and he fell in the last lap, and I got by him, and I just pinned it to the end.
Well, that's the story as we look at our Can-Am results from this Wiseco John Penton GNCC. Knight holds on for fourth. Congrats also to Josh Strang with his first top 5, but Knight had ignition problems. The ignition coil came loose. He was losing power all over the track, and he nearly went down to the last lap and broke his front wheel. He's lucky to hold on to that 4th place finish. But that allows Mullins to take the series points lead. And with his first win and the series lead, this could be a big moment in his season. You know what they say, when you win the first one, it becomes a whole lot easier to win more. We'll see if the hot rod can keep the momentum going. Will Hawk or Knight or Jarrett strike back next time we go racing in Kentucky? Stay tuned with us to find out. For Rachel Ayers and Rodney Smith, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now. Call 1-800-AMA-JOIN.